funny.
You're very, very welcome back. That
first.
was the fabulous sound of Lewis and Dav. I was trying to, in case you hadn't noticed, Drew and Paul are back.
You might have said we were back on.
Yeah, I did. I tried to get a word in, but they're talking about Big Brother of all things.
Never watch it.
Never mind that we're, a serious news chat program. Anyway, thank you very much to Lewis and Dav.
Keep going.
They've been performing at the Manchester Jazz Festival today. That's still on until the end of the week if you want to catch any more acts. So as I said, Drew and Paul have rejoined me on the couch, and this is the part of the show where the guests feel free to get something off their chests. We're thinking it might be a rant, a call to arms, or a chance to praise something great. Very unlikely that it's something positive, am I right? Who's going to go first,
There's always
guys?
a chance.
There's always a chance. Let's hedge our bets. Who's going first?
After you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Paul Wild.
I'm going to talk about, have you heard the term lucid dreaming?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we were talking about this earlier on, actually.
Well, I want to talk about lucid living. And kind of trying to change that up a bit, because what I have noticed, and the Brexit vote is a big part of it actually.
You might need to explain the lucid dreaming if it's related as well.
Right, lucid dreaming is people who can control their dreams. They realise they're in a dream and they can kind of interact with it and wake themselves up if it's a bad one or we should do that with our lives, and we don't necessarily. Quite a few years ago I read a book by a guy called Dan Millman, which was called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Brilliant book. Fiction, but when you read it you think, is this true? Is this kind of true? And it's all about this guy's journey, this Dan, who is very much on autopilot, just going through his life, and when he's chatting to a girl that he fancies, he gets too close and kind of really invades her space, and he has these teachings from this old man who teaches him to be a better person. And one of the key phrases of the book is, sounds like quite a moment you're having there. Are you paying attention to it? Because we don't necessarily pay attention to our lives. Two random examples. I ate 7 rich tea biscuits today because I was bored. At no point did I think, is this part of my, because I'm on a bit of a regime at the moment, is this part of my regime? It was only afterwards I thought, my God, I've had 7 rich tea biscuits. How many of us do that? Where, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat that.
Yeah.
Or really random things, you'll meet somebody and you take an instant dislike to them. And you don't know why, but you hold on to it.
Drew does that all the time.
You're like that with me.
You don't ever kind of analyse it and try and break it down and try and work out why have I taken an instant dislike to this? And it could be because they look slightly like someone you had an argument with in Asda 14 years ago. It could be that, but we don't pay attention to it. We don't analyse. So I want to promote lucid living.
Lucid living.
Paying attention to everything, to all our moments in all our lives, and doing the best for ourselves at all times.
You know the big problem with that is...
Here it comes.
Well, no one lives their life, everyone lives their life through a viewfinder now. They're not paying attention to crossing the road, let alone every moment of their lives. People are not in the moment now. They're just observing it through a viewfinder or taking a Snapchat picture of it, as you did earlier, twice. And that's the problem, isn't it? You know, people are not, they're so far away from the moment now. It's scary.
So it's never been worse for what you're talking about, basically.
Hence why I wanted to talk about it, because all it takes is for you to acknowledge that you aren't paying attention to some of the key areas or key moments of your life. You're not doing the best for yourself, and then you push and I'm actively trying to lucidly live my life right now.
So I was wrong. We did have a positive something to say there.
I'm not all about the negs.
No, that was brilliant. But isn't it true though? We are trying, I think, as a society, and there's a lot of focus on mindfulness, isn't there, at the moment?
Yes.
So
colouring in,
same thing.
Colouring in books.
Mindfulness is the
same thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's being aware of the moment, paying attention to it, getting the best from it.
And it's a way of managing stress as well, isn't it? Because instead of letting your mind run away with anxiety and anxious thoughts, you sort of stop and say, well, okay, for the moment I'm going to just make a cup of tea, and it might be as basic as saying, I'm going to fill up the kettle, I'm going to put the kettle on, now I'm going to grab the cup, and you actually have to talk yourself Force yourself to be in
Not
that
enough
moment.
people meditate because they think it's this alien thing where you have to sit cross-legged on the floor with your face pointing to Mars and do some random thing. And there was a Tibetan monk on a video on Facebook recently who said meditation is just focusing on your breathing. Don't try and quiet your mind because we've all got monkey minds babbling constantly. He said just focus on your breathing. If you can just sit down whilst you're watching TV, focus on the TV, but also focus on your breathing. Breathe in, hold for a couple of seconds, breathe out. That's meditation.
And you have to start somewhere, don't you? I think
Absolutely.
That's great, Paul. Thanks very much for bringing that in. That's a lovely
welcome.
Positive message. Mr. Drew Tosh, going to bring us down?
Don't be horrible now, Drew.
No, but
I'm only joking.
mine is a serious subject. It's about something that's probably one of the biggest scourges of society today. The man bun.
I love that.
No.
Drew,
Oh
they're
no,
adorable.
Gareth Bale needs to get a hedge trimmer to that.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
agree.
awful. I don't know the person's name, and he's probably a very lovely person. There's somebody that works close to where I work who has a man bun, and
I'm glad you don't know his name now if you're going to be.
I'm so close to just taking a pair of scissors, just cutting out. Either let your hair grow long or cut it short. Why a man bun? This has got to stop.
Now, do you have an issue with women tying their hair up?
No, but it's
You
different.
sexist pig.
It's not. Oh yeah, there is that, but it's more the fact that it doesn't look daft on a woman. It looks really stupid on a guy.
And to be fair, you're not the only person who feels like this. There's campaigns against this. I mean, they're not very serious. But I mean, like social media campaigns, for example, sort of slagging off the man bun.
I mean, it's got to have run its course by now. Is it some sort of like early midlife crisis? People just have still a little bit here that can.
Hipster, is it hipster? Am I wrong? I feel like I can't keep
Isn't
up.
it called
with
an
this.
Essex? It's sort of like, is it an Essex facelift? Because you pull all the hair back and it stretches the
Ooh,
skin.
maybe for some people, maybe some
Possibly.
guys are using it. Do you disagree with it on everybody, or just some people who you either dislike, you've taken a dislike and you're not sure why, or maybe it doesn't suit them? Is that an
No,
issue?
everybody. It's across the board. I don't subjugate anybody. Put anybody in the corner. It's everybody. The man bun is it's just daft.
Now, I think you should lucidly live through the next moment.
I think I should loosely get a pair of
where
shears and cut them
you
off
should-
whenever I
you-
can.
You should ask yourself, why does this bother me so much?
Sure, your hair doesn't bother me. There's a point to that, literally. You could grate cheese
Why
on the
does
top
it-
of that.
See,
but
I used to walk past girls in the street who were orange, and I used to think to myself in a really horrible
The tan,
female
the fake
dog
tan.
way. I used to think to myself, come on, girl, get
Why?
your fake tan from somewhere else other than Poundland, please.
Yeah.
Now I will think, oh, bless her, she's trying, and when she knows better, she'll do better.
So
I
you're trying to send
think
out
the
that message.
patronising second attempt's worse than the first. Frankly.
That's me being nice. I'm actually thinking good thoughts about her and thinking.
I think he has a point in that specific situation. I think Drew has a point there. That sounds mildly
It's
condescending.
killing you to admit that, isn't it?
No,
I don't
not
say it
at
out
all.
loud.
Good, no.
I just think it as
You
I
know
walk
what
past.
Connor's told me though, our technical directors told me that apparently a lot of men are using the man bun to cover the little spot at the back of their head.
Yeah.
It's become the new comb over, Drew.
Well, let's see Donald Trump have a crack at it then we'll soon realise how effective it is.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God,
That'd be one way
that-
killing it.
That would be horrific.
Stoned
I'm probably just jealous because I don't have enough hair anymore. I still haven't had.
You can grow your
And
hair.
there we're
Flicks,
getting
if
to
you-
the.
It is.
That's
I had
like-
lovely Noel Edmonds flicks when I was at school. You know, it's a cross between Noel Edmonds and Miss
He had
Diane
nice
off the
head of hair.
Crossroads. But
Noel
now
had
just,
nice hair.
No.
Noel did.
Oh,
He
did.
had good
I
head
like
of
a
hair.
man bun. I'm just jumping in and saying that I like a man bun. I think they're
It's
hot.
Neanderthal.
I think they're really hot.
Even Gareth Bale with a little flick around the back as well. No.
I don't know who that is.
I only know because I don't know. I know it's sport. What do I know about sport? But yeah, he was the Welsh captain of the Welsh football team that got to the semi-finals of the Euro.
He's also.
Oh, but the
yeah,
gorgeous blue
yeah.
eyes.
Oh, come on, guys.
Gorgeous.
Oh, guys, come on.
A man bun
he's
and
the
a bit of
highest
hair
paid
ripped
Are you
round.
joking? He's a very famous footballer. He's the most expensive footballer of all
And he's
time.
very cute.
I didn't realise this is what we were dealing with
And his
here.
man bun
And
is
he's
lovely.
very cute.
Well, if he's getting paid that much money, he wants to go to a barber now and again.
He's not gone to a barber, Drew. He's not gone to a
Maybe
barber.
his barber is helping to sculpt the hair that creates the man bun that you so despise because you
Yeah.
can't grow one yourself.
Possibly. can just get a bit of wool and glue it to the top of your head. It look the same.
Do you know what? It's probably been made. We'll check this on the break. Is there such thing as a fake man bun? I'll get Connor on this. There probably
yeah,
is.
It's like Princess Leia. You just get 2 croissants around the side of you. You could do that with a man.
Just stick one on top.
We've all done that when we've got a bag of donuts or something. We've all had that game. Thanks very much, guys. Great somethings to say there. We're going to go into our last break of the evening, and when I come back, we're going to go through the and finalies. These are slightly more quirky stories, so don't miss that. See you soon.